everybody. I hope everybody's having a really good week this week. And this week, what's popping and dropping is a boop. He pops right up. This one is our Waffle, and this says thanks a waffle lot. And isn't that cute? And then on the back here, we have a place where we can write a message, and it can be just displayed on a desk or wherever they want to put it. And I'm just setting it down this way so we can see what it looks like. And I'm just gonna do a series with these little food trucks. I thought it would be fun and neat to do. Or we can do, this is a cute little donut card, and then we got it upside down here. Open it up, and it's a truck that pops up. And this one says, "Do not forget to have an amazing day." And it's a little food truck, and I did some milk and donuts in the window here. And then that's what it looks like from the front. And then on the side over here, we have the other side of the truck. And then on the back, I do have a place where you can write a message. I just forgot to put it on this card. So I'm going to show you how you can make either one of these cards. Why don't we go ahead and head over to Design Space, and I'm going to show you what comes in each of these files, and then I'm going to show you how to put both of these cards together. So let's head over there. I'll see you there. Okay guys, so here we are in Design Space. This is the donut pop-up truck card, and what you'll get in this file is everything that you see here. And this white piece, it is the acetate that will go in front of this red square if you're going to do the donuts on the front of the card. The waffle pop-up truck card, basically you'll get the same pieces as this, except you'll have a different front, and of course these for the truck will be waffles. Now let's jump over here to the donut pop-up truck. This is what you'll receive in this file, but in the waffle pop-up truck, you're going to get a few different pieces, but basically it's going to look the same. So why don't we go ahead and add any additional pieces that you would like to add to your card you're going to make. Don't forget to go up and name and save your project. And why don't we go ahead and get our pieces cut out, and I'll meet you at the craft table and we can get started. I'll see you there. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start on is our card pop-up truck. So let's get out our pretty paper and our card base and go ahead and work our score line and put our pretty paper on. So let's do that real quick. Okay, so now that we have our card base done, what we can do is get out our pieces for our truck. Okay, to work the truck, the only difference between the truck that goes in your card and your truck that will pop up by itself, I've already done this one except for the last part we need to do, is going to be this piece at the bottom here. On our pop-up truck, that's just the truck, it won't have this bottom piece on it. So everything else you will work the exact same. So what we can do is on the piece that is extended down here, we can work that score line and then this tab score line here. And then we have a score line that goes right down the center of the tab there. So let's go ahead and work that. All the score line on this piece should be worked. Now what we can do is fold this piece back like so. And then we're going to just take our scissors, and in the score line right here, we're going to snip an angle. And we're just going to do it up to this score line here. Okay. So we're going to snip off a nice sized triangle. So about that much. I'm going to open it too so you can see. And that's just so it's going to lay nicely in our card. And while we have this piece, we can go ahead and put a piece of tape or glue. Well, if you're using glue, you don't need to do it yet, but I'm going to use tape for this. So I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of tape on my tab here. And then we can set this piece aside. And our center piece that goes in the middle of our card, it only has 2 score lines we need to work. Same thing on this truck here. It only has 2 also at the bottom. So let's work that. The only piece that is different is this first piece here. And our truck, that is just the truck itself, it's a bigger truck than the one that goes in our card. And now we're on our final piece here. So we have 2 score lines too, one here and one there, and we can work those. And for this middle piece, I've learned that glue is better to put it in the middle. When I use tape, I noticed that it came undone easily, especially if you're playing with the card a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and put tape on this end here. Now, so I don't get messed up, I go ahead and put these 2 pieces together. We need the one that has the tabs at the bottom and then our front piece. We do not need our middle section yet. So we just take off of our tape and we are going to line it up with the bottom of our truck. And we're just going to bump it right up to that score line there. And then before we go on, we can do to make this easier for us is we can go ahead, I'll find it, and put our grill and our headlight on the front. There's the grill. I can't find my headlight, so I'll put those on in just a minute when I locate them. And then what we can do is put our back on. So if we fold our little truck over like this and then put our tape or glue on and then take our truck and we're just going to fold it right over to where it meets up the end here where it matches. Just like that. And we can fold it back the other way to make sure everything is laying flat, giving it a good rub down. So this is what it's looking like. And see the difference on the sides here. That's the only difference in the truck. Now, we decorate. We want to put the bottom strip on here. And this time I did it in vinyl. And my other ones, I've done it in vinyl or paper. This one I chose paper. And in this file, because you write your message down here, the tag that you write on is a little bit different, so it'll fit in between the 2 tires there. So that's the only difference on that. So I'm going to go ahead and place my bottom on here. And it just goes across the bottom of our truck. And then I'm going to turn it over and do the back side. And then we can do our tires. So we just have a little black piece for our tire, and then we will take and put a little glue or tape on our silver piece and we'll glue it in the center on the black part. So let's do that. And then once we have them done, we can place them on our little food truck here. So we'll just line our little tire up on this part right here and glue it onto there. So let's do that. On this one, it will line up just on this edge here. And on this tire, you just don't want to go past that score line when you go to put it on. Now what we can do is take our little windows here, and I guess it really doesn't matter which one is the top or the bottom on this. And then in the center, we take and we put like this glass. I'm using white vinyl. You could use paper. To me, the vinyl, I'm using a glossy vinyl, so it'll kind of look shiny like a window. And then we can get our little front door windows. They look like this piece here. You should have 2 of them, and it will sit where the slant is going up against the slant of the window like that. So it should sit on your piece like that. And you should have one for the right side and the left side, and one will be different if you're using vinyl, that you need to make sure it's going the right way. So the next thing I think I'm going to do is put this guy on our little serving window, and about right there is where I think I'm going to put mine. You need to make sure you leave a little room for the pretty part up here. If you don't leave enough, you can always scoot it down. And then I think I'm going to put my window on like so. So let's do that. That's looking pretty good there. And the next thing we can do, if you'd like, is get our little door piece out, or for our handle. And it looks like that. There's a little handle. And then I'm going to go ahead and put our little like curtain on at the top. And I did pink and a lighter pink for each side. And on this back part, for this side, this is a place for a message, so you won't have 2 little pretty curtains in there. And then I'm just going to place mine right at the top to cover up these little 2 gray ends. And that's just where I prefer to put mine. There we go. Now we can turn it over and do the other side now that we're finished with that side. Now that we have both sides done, and it's looking pretty spiffy here, what we can do is decorate our centerpiece here. And this is where the waffle or the donut will go on top. Also, I have noticed with the first one that I made, if your centerpiece, if your cardstock is too light, you could double up on it. I would just cut the tabs off at the end and not worry about the tabs for your extra piece if you want this to be a little bit sturdier. Now that we have our score lines work, what we can do is go ahead and get out our pieces for our waffle. And all we do with these is I did use vinyl for the top part, and I'm just going to stick them on top of each one. And we can go ahead and do that. All right, so now we have our waffles done. What I'm going to do is go ahead and get my 2 little pieces for my butter that goes on top and put those together. So we can go ahead and do that. Okay, now our waffles are looking pretty cute here. So what we can do is take and put glue on the back of each of our waffles, and we're going to place one on each side of our pink piece here. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Now what we can do, if you would like to, is go ahead and finish up with our little decorations that go inside of our little window here. Okay, so what we have left to do is put our little ends on here. This longer piece here is the back bumper, and you get an idea with this one how the two pieces go on. And that's the piece we're going to put on now. So let's go ahead and do that. And there we have our little truck. And it's all completed. The only thing we need to do is put our little waffle in the middle here. So you want to make sure your waffle is going the same way as our truck. And then it will slide in the middle like so. You'll just try to put it in there in the center as best as you can. So it'll end up looking something like this when we're done, except it'll be like that. There we go. When we're done. There you can look at that one because this one has already been put on. And that's, and that's what it looks like from the bottom. I'm going to put some glue on each end of my tabs and slide it into the center here. And once I have one end on, what I like to do is lay my truck back like I'm going to lay it flat, and then fold my tab down flat where the glue is facing up. Scooch this in, and then once it's even with this edge right here, the front end of our truck, we can go ahead and push it down. And then once we have it down, you want to work it the other way. And sometimes you got to give it a good rub down because we always want our truck to lay flat when we move it both ways. And there we have it. It's moving back and forth. I got a little sticky on the inside, so I'm going to get that out because if I don't, it's going to keep sticking to the card. And we don't want that. So I'm going to get that off. Okay, so we have this piece done. Now, before we put this in the card, let's finish up this little guy here. That's just our pop-up truck. And you can see how much bigger it is. And what's nice about the card is you can add a little extra stuff in the card versus in the truck. But if you wanted to do something simple, you could just do the pop-up truck. So we're going to need our little pop boxes, our two pieces like this that was in our file. We'll also our two rubber bands, which are the crepe gold size 12, 1 3/4 by 1/16 of an inch. And if you have a bigger one or a smaller one, that will work too. Because a smaller one would definitely be better than these two, because we're going to end up wrapping these around on the inside. So on this piece, we're going to start at the top with the moon shape. Okay, we have 3, 4, 5, 6 score lines. The first one is a mountain fold. The next one is a mountain fold. The one with the two holes in it is going to also be a mountain fold. The next one is going to be a valley fold. And then the last one, next to last, will be a mountain. And then the last one will be a mountain. Then in the valley, where they'll come up and kiss each other, the two holes on each side, that is where we are going to put glue. So let's get some glue out and do that. And then we're going to let this one set and dry and then go and do this next one. It's the same thing. It's going to be a mountain, 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 valley, mountain, mountain. And then we'll kiss the two holes and put glue in the middle, like so. And then glue it together. So now we have this piece done. And what we can do is take it, they should be nice and dry now. And we want the tab up. And we're going to put the rubber band around it. And we want the bulkier end facing towards this moon shape here, because we're going to wrap it 2 times. One, so we got it once, and then we're going to go around it again. And now our loop is on the opposite side of the moon. So then we're going to press it into this little moon shape here. And hook it around those holes. Then we're going to take this and put the moon back down, and we're going to put glue all around this area there, and then fold our flap over to this side like so. So we have a box. So let's do that. And now we're going to do the same thing to our other little box. Now let's let our 2 boxes set for a little bit so they can get nice and sturdy. So we'll move those out of the way. And let's get our card here. And we're going to put it inside of our card. And if your truck is laying like where we can see both of these tabs, we need to turn it so the 2 tabs here are lined up with each other like so. And then we're just going to take this and stick it in our score line like so. We're just going to bump that edge right up to it. Now when we do this, we need to adjust it to make sure nothing is coming outside of our card base. And it's totally up to you. Like if you notice, if I come this far down on my score line, it's going past our card base. That's not good. So we need to move it up some in our score line. And it's really up to you where you want to set this little guy. So I'm good with him there. So what we can do is take and put a little glue on our tab or tape. You could probably use tape for this. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use tape. So let me put tape on real quick. Alright, so I have my tape on. We're just going to line this guy back up in my card. So I think I'm pretty good with him there. So all we do is once we have it bumped up in our score line is just shut our card and give it a good rub. And then we can turn our card over, open it this way, and take the tape off on this side. And do the exact same thing. We're just going to shut our card and give it a good rub in that area there. And voila, we have our cool little waffle truck. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I'm going to set this guy over here, and let's get this guy. And we need our little pop boxes that we set aside. And what we're going to do is find out which way we need these little guys to go in our truck. So if you're like me, I can never get stuff centered straight. So if you notice, I have more on this side. So I'm going to put my guy where there's more space. And we need this to lay down like this in our card, and it's got to be in a corner over here. So I'm going to put it on this section right here, so it'll bump up in against our centerpiece. So we need it to lay, if we have our box sitting to us, where the edge like this for this side is going to go right up in our corner here. Okay, so when it expands, it's going to expand on this side and on the donut piece we have. So once we figured that out, we can take a pencil and we can mark the two sides we'll put our tape or glue on. And for this section, if you notice our two little circle dots that we poked out, that's what's going to go up in our corner. So you'll put glue on this side and on this side. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put some glue down here and put this guy on. I have my glue both sides where my pencil marks are, and then I'm going to squeeze it up like this and then just set this seam right up in the corner of our truck right here. And you need to give this a second to dry once you get him in there. And I'm lining it up so we can't see anything past our edge here. And then if you notice, whoop, it pops it right up. And once we get the other side on, there will definitely be some more pop to it. The exact same thing that we did to the other side. Remember where our two little circles are is going to go in our corner over here. Our corner here. So this edge and this edge is what's going to go, and we're going to bump up to our wall on this side, and then it'll be over here on this side. So we'll put glue on each of these sides or tape. So let's go ahead and do that. So I have my tape off on both sides. So I'm going to pinch it down like this and then just bump it right up into the corner on the inside like so. So it's going to be inside in the corner like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And remember, when we put this on, we want to go where we're not seeing this little guy. So you want to line it up just below or right at the edge of this back here. See if you can see in there, that's how I have it lined up. And then we'll just give him a pinch, because we don't want this to be seen outside of our box or our truck. And there we go. It's popping up nice. Isn't that neat? Boop. Okay guys, so we got this piece done. Let's work on the envelopes. Okay, for the envelope for the pop-up truck, it is two pieces because it is bigger. You could make this a little bit smaller if you wanted to, but what we're going to do is we have 3 score lines here, 1, 2, and 3. Let's go ahead and work those. Now that we have that worked, we have 1 score line on our piece here, and it's down at the bottom, so let's work that. And then we're going to take this piece and we are going to line it up and glue it right up to that score line right there. So it'll look like something like that when we're done putting it on. So let's do that. And then we'll fold these flaps down like so and this up. And if you need to, we can draw little lines here and over here and on this side. Do it lightly, and that way we know where to put our glue or our tape. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we have this envelope done. Now, this one is just folded the exact same way, except we don't have a piece to put on. So we have 4 score lines on it, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's go ahead and work those. Now I want this side to be my outside. So if you're using double-sided paper that has a pattern on each side, don't forget when you go to glue this, you have it on the right side you want to glue. We're just going to do the same thing. We're going to take and, if you need, draw your little lines. And then take your glue or tape and put it down. And then we have our envelopes done. What I think I'm going to do is go finish up the card for the waffle, and then I'll be back to show you what I have come up with. I'll see you in just a sec. So I am back, and this is our finished product. This says "Life is Butter with You," and then we open it up, and it says "I miss you, Waffle Lot." And look at our cute little truck. We got some syrup and waffle in the window, and you could add different things. And if you notice on this guy here, we have eyes and a mouth. If you wanted, you could take and put the eyes and the mouth up here on him too, or on any of the top of the trucks. I think that would be a cute idea. And then on the back, we have a place where we can write a message. But also we have this to choose from, our little waffle truck. It says "Thanks a Waffle Lot." "Do not forget I love you." And then, of course, on the back of each of these, we have a place where we can write a message. And then on our donut truck, we just did like a package of donuts you're getting, and you open it up and it says, "Do not forget to have an amazing day." And I just think these turned out so nice, guys. And I will be adding to the food trucks and doing different ones. I just was hoping to get to all of them, but didn't have a chance. But anyways, we have so many different choices you can choose from this week, and I thought they turned out so cute. And each of these have a nice envelope in the file that they will be able to fit inside of. So a lot of nice choices to choose from this week. What do you guys call a waffle on a California beach? A San Diego. Guys, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and crafting with me. Don't forget to drop by next week to see what's popping and dropping. Bye.